And a super good morning, and should I say super good Monday morning to each and every single one of you. Sorry about this dappled sunlight across my face, but I hope that you can at least see my mouth moving. And while I give you a brief update, as you may have noticed, there was no video coming out on Sunday. That's because on yesterday morning's bike ride, I dug myself into just a little bit of a physical hole that needed a substantial amount of recovery. It was a hotter day than normal, um, and because I was due to be heading out and riding with friends that ride a whole lot faster than me, I set out on my bike ride 45 minutes ahead of them, expecting them to catch me up in the last part of the ride. Which, in fact, they did do. They caught me up. It was about a 60-kilometer ride, and they caught me up with about how long? It was about 20-ish kilometers to go. But they were in a hurry because they're British, and yesterday, Sunday, was the Women's World Cup final between England and Spain, which Spain beat England 1-0, but that's totally beside the point. They didn't see it as a complete loss because they're from England, but they're living their best life in Spain, so whoever won the match would have been a win in their books, but they wanted to watch the match anyway. I was struggling a bit. At the time, I didn't realize how much I was struggling, so they passed me by and continued on to go and watch the match. And a little bit further on, the first alarm bell went off when my lack of calories caught up with me and I hit a little bit of a hunger knock and I had to slow down. Then I ran out of water. And fairly shortly after I ran out of water, going up the hill, I was about 4 kilometers from the next fuente where I could fill up with water. I noticed red patches of heat rash forming on my legs, which I'll show to you right now. Just a moment. Okay, so let's see how well I can show you what the heat rash looks like. There's that on my right leg, and if I come across to my left leg, you can see a patch up at the top, and then a big patch of heat rash over there, and that's the morning after the day before. So let's hope that this heat rash eases up, because apparently I'm supposed to stay out of the sun as much as possible until the heat rash eases itself up. Because while the heat rash is there, the sweat pores are blocked, and that will severely impact my body's ability to regulate temperature. There we go. Now you can see what they look like. Anyway, or what they still look like this morning. So anyway, with the heat rash, that told me that no, my body is heating up way too much and is getting into a dangerous zone. Luckily for me, at that moment, I looked, there was the climb that I was going up had switchbacks, and I could see about 2 or 3 switchbacks back. There was a group of 3 Spanish riders riding together. So what I did was, instead of pushing myself too far into the red, I stopped by the side of the road, waited for them to come up to me, waved my empty water bottle at them, and asked them if they have any excess water. Well, between the 3 of them, they could fill up my water bottle about a third of the way full, leaving enough water for them to get to the front as well, and I could get going there. But because I was in a hole already, it was slow going, so I got up to the Fuente, refilled, and where I normally take 2 sips of water between the Fuente and home, which is I think a 12, 13 kilometer section, I emptied the bottle over that 12, 13 kilometer section. Got home feeling wrecked, actually feeling nauseous, which is part of heat exhaustion, and wasn't able to consume solid foods until 8 o'clock in the evening. So, and mid-afternoon, I was feeling really tired and decided to go and and with a headache, and go and have a 20-minute nap. That 20-minute nap became a 2.5-hour nap, which I thought would ruin my night's sleep, but where I normally only sleep 6 hours, last night I slept 9.5 hours. So I suppose there's some good coming out of all of that. But with all of that happening, I didn't have the energy at all to do any video recording or editing, so I'm playing a bit of a catch-up at the moment. And also, I didn't do any content creation whatsoever. The time that I would have used for content creation, I was using to nurse my body, cobble my body back into some kind of a decent shape, which is why now, Monday morning, I'm feeling way more energized and ready to absolutely smash the content out of the park for this Monday, for this coming week, and I'll hope you join me on that specific endeavor. Let's go, let's hit the week strong. And a good evening to each and every single one of you. The time is going on for 8 o'clock in the evening, which means it's almost time for me to head up for my Monday evening weekly pub quiz. Just a quick update, my word target for today was 1,273, and my word count total for the day target, I hit the target as far as content production is concerned with a total of 1,725. So from that point of view, I'm reasonably happy for the day. Look ahead as far as tomorrow is concerned. I've got a Project 24 content hour coming up in the evening or late afternoon. And in addition to that, I'm not sure as yet whether or not I'll be back on the bike going out on another bike ride, simply because the heat rash on my legs and a little bit on my face, as you can probably see as well, may not be subsided enough. The swelling may not be down enough for me to venture out into the full harsh Spanish sunshine. I think it would be prudent of me to wait until I've recovered fully from that before I do anything along those lines. So it's either going to be a bike ride in the early morning, or it's going to be heading out on a 3, maybe 4 mile run in the morning. I'm not too sure exactly what it will be as yet, but that will depend largely upon what the situation is as far as my heat rash in the morning is concerned. Beyond that, I'm going to be heading off to, as I mentioned, off to the pub quiz. Probably get back from that at about 10:30, pushing 11 o'clock, and head straight into bed so that I can get a good full night's rest, because that's something that I haven't been doing really well at. Probably for the last 2 months. For the last 2 months, I've been averaging between 4 and 6 hours sleep a night. So now that I seem to be getting to the point where I'm sleeping slightly better, I'm going to be trying to make up for lost time and catching up on as much of all of that lost sleep as possible. So after pub quiz, alcohol-free beer for me, of course, it'll be straight into bed for me. That's it as far as this video is concerned. Super short. And in tomorrow's video, I might talk a little bit more about the mental effects of massive goals versus tiny intermittent goals, as far as maintaining motivation for content production. But anyway, more of that tomorrow. Speak to you then. Cheers.